friends, Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and I've got Kala here with me today to talk to you about a book that I am just super excited to share with you. This is a book that I absolutely fell in love with for a number of reasons, some of which will be very obvious once you see what the book is in the title, and you're going to not be surprised at all. But what I was not expecting was to be so completely blown away by this book. I absolutely just adored it. I thought it was so fantastic, and it was just a lot of fun. And overall, like I said, totally took me by surprise. So what is this book we are talking about? It is The Last Dragon on Mars by Scott Reintgen. Now, I know you immediately realized, right, why I wanted to read this book. It's about a dragon, right? Also, I just want to share with you, look at those pretty sprayed edges. Our library copy has that too. So if you really love reading books that have sprayed edges, the library copy also is beautiful like this too. So, of course, when I saw this book, I had to read it immediately because it's about dragons, right? I'm the dragon librarian, have to read books about dragons. But here's the very first thing about this book that really took me by surprise that I thought was so unique and refreshing, which seems to be kind of the whole theme of this book, unique. So when you think about dragons, just take a minute, think about dragons and dragon books that you know, and just think about what kind of stories they usually are. They're usually fantasy stories set usually in this like fantastical world or a medieval world, something like that. But this book is very different because this book features dragons in space. So this is a really unique fantasy, but also very heavily science fiction book. I was so blown away by that. There's only one other series that I can think of that features dragons in space, like on planets and stuff. And it's been out for a really long time. So the fact that this is a new book coming out that is that really cool blend of fantasy and sci-fi, dragons in space, that's just absolutely incredible. So in this book, this is set in the future. And when mankind went to the stars and started exploring the moon and other planets, they found that outer space was filled with not spaceships and aliens and Martians and stuff, but it was filled with dragons. Because every moon, every planet in the solar system has a dragon. So our moon has a dragon, Mars has a dragon, Jupiter has a dragon, all of Jupiter's moons each have dragons. And they protect their planets or their moon and take care of it. So basically this story takes place where Earth has colonized Mars, and the dragon of Mars was really bloodthirsty, and they ended up killing him. And ever since then, the dragon of Mars has cursed Mars to be really inhospitable. So all the people living there have to fight for survival every day, not just in the fact that the resources are really scarce, but also in the fact that all the plants are toxic, all the animals that live on Mars are trying to kill the people constantly. So it's a really hard life. So now enter our protagonist. His name is Lunar. He's a boy who lives on Mars, and his family is dead. He lives with a bunch of other kids in this sort of orphanage type place, and he is a scrapper, which means he goes out every day on the Mars landscape, risks his life to try to salvage different materials and scraps and stuff that he can then use for money to get food for himself and the other kids. It's a tough life. But Lunar is a tough guy. He is a tough kid. He is, basically the way he is he's just equipped to live in this place. So in the beginning of our story, a scrap run goes wrong, and he actually finds himself in this bunker where he discovers that not everything has been taught about the planet is true. In fact, that there is another dragon, of this planet whose name is Dread, and he wants to bond with Lunar so that Lunar will be his dragon rider. And there's this other really cool mechanic where not only can dragons live in outer space and each moon and planet has a dragon, but dragons also can power spaceships. So space travel and interstellar travel is possible because of these dragons. So it is just like, how cool is that? Isn't that just the neatest thing you've ever heard? I really loved this book. In a lot of ways, it reminded me of a Rick Riordan book, only because it was very filled with action and adventure, but it had a lot of humor too. Had a lot of humor, had a lot of heart, and had a lot of adventure. There were lots of twists and turns. There was a big twist towards the end that I didn't see coming that I absolutely thought was great. I thought Lunar was a great protagonist. He was scrappy and fun and fiery, but really loyal and just a good person at heart. This book, I think, is really fantastic for young people who are maybe reluctant readers or struggling readers, because the action is constant in this book. There's always something happening to grab your attention. As soon as I started it, I couldn't put it down. I thought it was just absolutely fabulous. So if you're somebody who is looking for something unique and refreshing to read, if you're somebody who really loves dragons, if you really love fantasy, if you really love sci-fi, there is so much to love here. And like I said, if you're somebody, or you know somebody who is a reluctant reader, you're struggling to find the perfect fit book for them, give this one a try, because it's so different and fun and unique. And like I said, it pulls out all the stops. It is full of adventure and action, and it's full of dragons and space, which is absolutely fantastic. The Last Dragon on Mars. Well, that's what we've got for you guys today. I hope that this book sounds really awesome and that you're super hyped to read it. I know I was super hyped to read it and thought it was just absolutely fantastic. If you are wanting to read it, it is available at Farmington Community Library, so please feel free to stop in and pick it up there. And thank you so very much for watching, my friends, and I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.